Sound, a group of from the beginner to the professional, from the novice to the master, from playing around, experimenting things to create a masterpiece. These are all the elements of art. On this show, our art is sound. Hi, it's LV Smith on for his 13th year, folks. 13 years. And I can't think of a better way to have a friend to come back again. And he's also a filmmaker. You know him as a musician, especially if you go to our place called the Roar Room. But I'm speaking of Michael R. Morris, better known as the Mighty Mo. Hey, Mike, how are you? How you doing, Michael?
I'm good, LV. How you doing? Good to see you again.
I'm hyped. I'm hyped. It's really funny because I always knew you as a musician from Colin Bleu, but I discovered that you were a movie maker, and I didn't even know you were a movie maker. And I go like, dang, I bought the movie. I didn't even recognize him. Well, we got to talk, fella. We got to talk.
Oh boy, I actually was a filmmaker first.
Really? Now, what do you mean you were a filmmaker first? How did this all begin?
I started making Super 8 films in the 6th grade with a friend of mine, after school. And then kept on doing that to Super 8 films until I won an award in the 10th grade. And I thought, oh, I better take this seriously.
Wow.
But somewhere in the middle, my brother was a drummer and a musician, and he had musicians coming over, and I started playing around with them. And I think I sort of got involved in music around the 9th grade, something like that.
Great. And pray tell, how did you make these movies?
Well, for starters, it was just using an old Super 8 camera that I found in my parents' closet until that one broke, and then they bought me one for my, next birthday. And just that's the part I remember the most is shooting film, sending it off to the lab, getting it back, and then you have to edit it up with this little editor with some tape on it, and you see me hunkered over a little desk, and that was me putting together little Super 8 action movies.
Now that's really old school compared to what's out today. I mean, real film, you have to develop and stuff.
Yeah, the lab would develop. They send you back a little reel like this big for a 3-minute reel, and then I would just start cutting away and using a little editing tape, and then I'd project it for my family and friends, and that was like the beginning. I was hooked. But it had no music on it, so I had to put some music on it later.
So, where did you get the music from?
I think my brother first introduced a 4-track machine in our bedroom. We shared a bedroom, and he showed me how to do a couple things. And after that, there was no stopping me. Even when he was away and he left the thing to rot, I was just, for some reason, putting everything I had into making little albums on this little 4-track machine.
Well, can you give us a sample of something?
There's one called I Do, which everyone was quite excited about. It's like a 4 or 5 minute epic song that I basically did all on a 4-track machine using ping-ponging techniques. Do you know about that? Bouncing from one track to another. Yeah, so you have 4 tracks, but sometimes you got to bounce one to the other while you add something. So every time you bounce from one track to another, you add something else as you bounce. So it turns out these songs you will hear probably have the equivalent of 16 to 20 tracks on them, backup vocals and guitar solos and stuff. So it was a real science for me to figure out how to mathematically put all this together without messing it up and erasing the wrong tracks and getting a good microphone sound, etc. And somehow I was able to do that with painstaking effort to detail. So that's what I did. So you want to hear one of the songs?
Yeah, let's hear I Do.
Well, I don't know why it happens to me, and I try to look away when you walk on by, but you stole the look right out of my eyes, and to hide all the things I keep inside. So I look into your eyes again, and I see love lost and found many times around. And you'll never ever be the same, and I share the blame, untamed and so unsound. So I try to fight all that I feel tonight, and I try to hide all the things I keep inside. Yeah, 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 I do. Yeah, 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 I do. And I can't hold back no more. Yeah, 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 I do. Yeah, 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 I do. And though I've never ever said it before, I love you. Don't know how long that this feeling will last, 'cause the first time was the last time I'd ever fall in love again. And I'm painting pictures of the past, was past and gone too long to remember when. Why should I remember all the tears that I cried alone, when it's to you that I surrender all the fears I used to call my own? Why should I remember all the tears that I cried alone, when it's to you that I surrender all the fears I used to call my own? And for you, I'll do anything just to feel the way I do. Feel for you, that is everything that I need to pull me Yeah, 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 I do. Yeah, 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 I do. And I can't hold back no more. Yeah, 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 I do. Yeah, 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 I do. And though I've never ever said it before, I love you. In what it's like to be alone, when it's to you that I surrender all the fears I used to call my own. Why should I
Wow. Wow, that is too much. That is, woo, that's smoking, man. Now, where were you in the movie?
That was on top of a building in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. So as you can see, there's a nice view of the trade towers.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Trade towers.
The World Trade Towers, the ones that are no longer there, you know. So this was that part was filmed probably in 1992, something like that.
Mhm.
Even though these songs were recorded, well, they probably recorded on the 4-track 1989 and 1990.
That's some historic footage there to, you see
Seriously.
the trade towers. I mean, wow, that's precious footage there. So now I got a couple of questions. Like, how did you come about, let's say, using stills versus motion in there?
Did you see stills in there?
It looked like stills.
Well, sometimes the camera was jumping a little bit in the gate, in the transfer of the film. But otherwise, it's all moving pictures in there so far.
And I like the use of going from black and white to colored, and looked like with a little bit of sepia in there.
Yeah, some of that could have been the natural depreciation of the color over time, because these things were the films were actually sitting in the attic until just a couple of years ago. So that's why I'm here talking to you today, to sort of, after I digitized them, is sort of putting them out there in the world. So these things have been locked away for a couple of decades, at least, maybe 3.
Wow. You know what? Let's take a little breather for to do a PSA, so we can get back and talk about some of your other works.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back, folks.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Wacha. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Hey, that was Michael R. Morris doing I Do. Gee, that was great. And a lot to learn about that. He shared a lot about making the film, but he's here as a musician, so we're going to talk to him more about the music. Hey, Michael, that was great. What inspired you to do this musically?
Well, as soon as I got my hands on a 4-track machine, and I just had a lot of ideas, being a big fan of what was going on in music at that time, and just the mechanics of do it yourself. That's pretty much everything I do has a DIY vibe to it. So whether it's film or music, just take what little equipment we have and just make the most of it and make it epic.
Wow, that's true. That's true. Okay. I heard you had another song that you prepared for us. And what is that going to be? Is it called Just Listen?
Yeah, Just Listen is probably the second or third of my favorite songs I record. I probably recorded 30 or 40 songs on the 4-track, but these are some of my favorites. And Just Listen, I feel is still works for me because it's got some serious bass playing in there. It's got a little bit of 80s synth going on. It's got a nice vibe. So I still think today it's got kind of works. I'll let you decide.
So what you're saying, pretty much you're a quote child of the 80s influence?
Probably. It's probably the 60s and then the 80s, and I might have skipped over the 70s. But yeah, there's definitely some 80s in there.
You're touching on my, yeah. Oh, I'm big on 70s, but hey, 80s is good. I just have to develop more appreciation for it. So let's check out the track. Just Listen. Let's check Just Listen by Michael Morris.
How can I believe you if you put me down and you just walk away, leaving me on the anyway. How can I believe you if you say I'm wrong? And you tell me I was fooling myself all along. How can you ignore me if I speak my mind? A reason from you must be so hard to find. But all I can do is just listen to you. And you leave me no place to say what I meant. And you got me in a corner anyway. So I'm sitting in a corner, don't know where I belong. Nobody sings my security song. Was I fooling myself all along? Or was it you that was staring me wrong? How can you forsake me if you never listen to another story than the only one you know? How can you ignore me if you've never seen me or the place I come from? And now you tell me where to go. How can you forsake me if I never listen? I try to make it clear it's hard and the one you know. How can you ignore me if I speak my mind? Attention from you must be so hard to find. But all I can do is just listen to you, and you leave me no place to say what I may. And you got me in a corner anyway. All I can do is just listen to you, and you leave me no place to say what I may. And you got me in a corner. All I can do is just listen to you, and you leave me no place to say what I
Mr. Bassman. That's why I always called you, and that track there explains it all.
I finally got to show you some bass.
No, I see the bass every time we meet, but like you showed me who you were back then when you were, as you say, the slap king of New York.
At that time, yes. I also had hair, so we got to talk about the hair.
Well, the flea will eat you up as far as being a king on the West Coast, but hey,
Sure.
East Coast man there.
Okay, I'll take it.
Hey, definitely. Now, how did that song come about?
Well, it was a lyrical idea first. I think I was always very into the idea of one note and then juxtaposing, changing chords, but with one note staying there the whole time. That's always fascinating to me. And lyrically, it was about a friend of mine who is a big. He never shuts up, so you have to listen to him speak all the time, and he never gives me, the listener, a chance to talk. So that's what it's called. It's called Just Listen. Because of that, I don't think he even knows that the song was written about. I'm still friends with him, so things worked out okay. But I never told him that song was written about him.
I fit the bill.
What's that?
I fit the bill sometimes.
I don't see you as a lecturer, but everyone has their moments.
I hope that's true. Now, Who are some of your influences on playing bass?
Well, it probably started with, okay, it starts with I was a big Bruce Lee fan, and I would listen to soundtracks for Enter the Dragon. So Lalo Schifrin, the composer, just used bass all over the place, and that's what I loved about the 70s. Thank you. And so I started playing bass because of that. Simple bass lines, and then it probably went into some 80s music. There was a lot of slapping, early on with like Duran Duran and Level 42. And then my brother started introducing me to Marcus Miller and Stanley Clarke and a little Chaco.
You have a lot to testify for. That is great. Let's
Thanks.
take another break and we'll get right back.
Cool.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you?
You know you do.
Yeah, but I don't know where to start. That's why we're here. We're free, handsome,
I think we're breathtaking.
and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. I got this. Is that Bran? Colleges love extracurricular activities.
Chess really isn't my thing.
I got this. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Fire and ice.
Those don't really go together.
Go to GetSchooled.com for more info.
Hey, folks, that is so cool. Just Listen by Michael Morris. Michael, that is fantastic stuff. And how this connects with your movie making projects is something we're going to have to find out later on at another time. And that means you will come back?
Yeah, I'll definitely come back. It's a lot of fun. I wouldn't mind saying a couple of things about how these little films were put together, just like little
Please.
mini promos for the, those are 4-track recordings, but the little videos we shot on 16 millimeter on a little Bolex camera and also a little Arri camera, little cameras they gave us in film school, and there's no sound on them, so it seems perfect. If you already have the sound from the song, you just shoot some promo video, and it's kind of like I like to think this. If we're gonna watch this next one called Up and Down, it's kind of like shooting a promo for like the Monkees television show where guys are just goofing off and nothing makes any sense, and it's just about having fun and giving a nice vibe to the music,
Yeah. Okay, that's a topic I could hog up a show for me doing my own thing about me and sound. But we're going to get right back to you, Michael. I hear you have a song called Up and Down. Would you give us a little intro what that's all about?
This one I think is like my favorite perfect kind of like pop song, at least for that time, it's late 80s or 90s. I just it's got heavy bass and it's got all sorts of tracks going on. And I only discovered recently, looking back on this song, what is it, like 30 years ago, that it's kind of like a bipolar song. I think I knew back then that I was very moody, and I'd get depressed and I'd be jumping around and totally manic, and then I'm depressed again. And so like this was my pop version of a bipolar song, and that's funny.
Wow, that's cool.
Nobody was talking about bipolar back in those days, but I guess that's what it was.
Yeah, probably it meant the Jekyll Hyde syndrome when someone just take your head off.
That's
you don't know
okay.
why.
I'll go with that. I don't think I took anybody's heads off, but the point is, moody, and you go into a dark corner, so it's like dark music. So there's a dark aspect to a lot of my songs of that time.
I experienced your dark side at times at the park.
Hey, come here, buddy.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's check out Up and Down by Michael Morris. Take it away.
Up and down, you know how it feels to go for a bumpy ride inside your heart. but don't know if you really know what it feels like. 'Cause I'm calling and I can't get through. Don't know if you really want me to hold you tight. 'Cause if you want me to, all you gotta do is call me up and take me down the road through the middle of this lonely town. Call me up, take me down, take me where we can't be found. Call me up and take me down, take me out of town. Now and then I go round and round again, and I thought just when the spinning will stop, I'm afraid it's not gonna stop until the end. I don't know if you really know what it feels like, but we could share a sympathy or two. Don't know if you really want me to hold you tight, but if you want me to, all you gotta do is call me up, take me down the road through the middle of the lonely town. Call me up, take me down. Call me up and take me down, take me out of town. High and low, I go up and down. me out of town. Call me up, take me down the road through the middle of the lonely town. Call me up, take me down, wake me up and shake me round.
Whoa, wait. Michael, I know we're supposed to be talking about the music, but did you really jump those buildings at whatever height?
Yes. Thank
Dude,
you.
you on stuff, man. You better come out. Man. If that's your
Well-
bipolar, I'm scared of you.
Remember I said the Bruce Lee stuff because I was also a big fan of Jackie Chan. It seems like that's something Jackie Chan would do. You see a little like building that's not even, it's like half falling apart and taking these leaps that are pretty death-defying. I was crazy, I guess, in those days, you know.
Ooh, man.
And my girlfriend was crazy enough to film it while.
Oh, I mean, film it, but Michael, we're lucky to talk to you today.
Maybe I'd just be walking on one leg. Who knows? But you know. always taking chances.
You got to explain to us how the music come up for this.
Well, as I said, it's like in a poppy, funky way of explaining lyrically that I'm a moody person, and maybe I had a tough childhood or something, and I put all that kind of angst into the music. You can see me cutting little films together at a table, or you could see me working on the 4-track machine. It's just kind of like really hard focusing on these little projects, probably as a way of like working out my angst or something. So it was always important for me to express that somehow.
Michael, you got to come back again. We got to talk. Seriously.
Michael, sit right down. We're going to do some talking. Sure, I look forward to it.
I'm going to hold him to this. This guy is my miracle maker. Seriously, he bails you out when you need him. He's a great, great guy, folks. I'm speaking of Michael R. Morris, musician, movie maker, you name it. He's the man for you. How can the audience get in contact with you?
Well, mind if I mention that it was just that I released this album just a few months ago called the 4-Track Master under the band name Simpleton Complex. So it's on iTunes and what are the other ones? It's on those
where you
platforms.
go buy your streaming music.
That's right. Simpleton Complex, the 4-Track Master. How do you get a hold of me directly? Are we passing out email? Well, yeah, I mean email. Let's see. Well, there's a Simpleton Complex on Instagram. I'm also Michael Random Morris on Instagram. And if you want my email, you can catch me at randominc@yahoo. The word random, INC at Yahoo. That's like no real one way to catch it. Oh my God, I got it right there.
That's the word. So that is great. We look forward to your return. Thank you for being part of the sound today.
Thanks for having me on.
I'm sitting in a corner, don't know where I belong. Nobody sings my
That being
security
said, folks, this has
song.
been another
While
edition
I'm
of Sound
fooling
Presents.
myself
Catch
all
Michael's
along.
contact
Oh,
information
was
on
it
credits.
you? Was
We'll
it
see
you that was